good morning or good afternoon, depending on what time of the day you have me. Most of you are in the afternoon. Today, we are going to discuss rational numbers. It's not you're going to need your calculator, we're going to be doing math. I mean, you may want to use it for a couple things, but it's mainly understanding the vocabulary. Your assignment will probably be super easy today as long as you pay attention and you're understanding. Okay? Before I start on the vocabulary words that we're talking about, I do want to give you guys maybe like a pep talk or maybe a talk. Probably most of your parents have had this discussion with you. Maybe they haven't, but I found that when Maddox was in 5th grade science, the year they take that STAR test, she had vocabulary test after vocabulary test, and then, I never studied with her. She studies on her own. But she would study those vocabulary words, and then she would get that daily problem of the day or whatever they would call it, daily work, and she wasn't doing so hot on them, and a lot of her friends weren't. So I started looking at them, and I said, this is a vocabulary word that you're memorizing. You've got to be able to take vocabulary in any subject. Science probably is where y'all mostly have vocabulary, okay? You've got to take those vocabulary words that you're memorizing. You can't just memorize them. You have to understand, because you have to take those words and then apply them to the questions that they're asking you. Math questions, you have to be able to say, if it's asking you about a denominator, you have to know that the denominator is the bottom number of fraction. If they're asking about rational numbers, you have to understand, what's a rational number? What does that entail? To be able to answer those questions properly. So that's what today's lesson is. So next section is going to be vocabulary. Okay, so I'm going to have a Google Doc that will explain all this a little better. Sometimes Venn diagrams are kind of confusing to me. I'm sure they're confusing to you guys. I'm an adult. Maybe they're not. Maybe you look at Venn diagrams and you totally get diagrams. That's fine. That's how your brain works. So what I like to do when we look at something like this, so here's our whole set of rational numbers. Here's this complex Venn diagram. We have, in this little bitty circle, we have natural numbers. Then around it, encompassing it, is whole numbers, and then encompassing that is integers. So you can see, by looking at this, you can see that natural numbers are the smallest subset of rational numbers. And then whole numbers are a little bit bigger than natural numbers, and they're the next biggest subset. But the biggest subset is integers. So natural numbers, you got to understand this, okay? So think about this. You're going to have to understand this. So natural numbers are numbers, counting numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it goes on forever. Okay, so natural numbers are 1. They start at 1, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, because we don't count 0. All right, so natural numbers are counting numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, 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 and goes on forever. Then we have whole numbers. Whole numbers are counting numbers, are natural numbers, but they include 0. So now, the only difference in whole numbers and natural numbers is natural numbers start at 1. Whole numbers start at 0, okay? Whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Integers are whole numbers and natural numbers. They're both. But integers they include whole numbers and their negative counterparts. So an integer could be -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can take a whole number 225, its opposite -100, -225, that's an integer, okay? So there is a difference. Now, if you look at the word rational, this is what I think is kind of cool. What is this word right here? It's a big word in math, ratio. Okay, so ratio. So actually, guys, a rational number is any number that can be written as a ratio. Okay, so if it can be written in fraction form, it is a rational number. Okay, and I'm going to have a Google Doc to explain all this. I'm going to allow you to use it on your assignment for today if you need to. I don't think it's that hard, though. I mean, you just know that natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, on and on and on. Like natural numbers go on forever in a positive direction. Whole numbers start at 0 and they go to the right of the number line in a positive direction for infinity. And then integers, they go infinity to the left of 0, include 0, and go to the right of 0. So integers just include negative numbers. If you have any questions, raise your hand. And I guess you could understand that irrational numbers are numbers that don't fall in this category. They can't be written as a ratio. Okay, so guys, I hope that I explained this well enough for you. I really tried to. And if you have questions, raise your hand. Okay, so we're going to discuss this little rational numbers cheat sheet right here. Yes, yes. So we need to decide or discuss the types of definitions that we have. We have natural numbers. Natural numbers, like I said in the earlier video, are all counting numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. It does not include the number 0. Okay, so that's natural numbers are 1 and up. They go on forever. Whole numbers are natural numbers, but they include the number 0. So whole numbers is just natural numbers with a 0. So basically, if you see right here, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Integers include whole numbers and their negative counterparts. So I just did a little short example, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. And it could go far left forever, and it could go to the right of 0, far right of 0 forever. Then we have rational numbers. All three of these, natural numbers, natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, all three of these fall under this rational number umbrella. So I have this highlighted right here on purpose. Ratio, rational numbers, they can be written as a ratio. If a number cannot be written as a ratio, it is not a rational number. These include numbers which are finite, definite, like definite, they're finite, and they're reoccurring in nature. Both the numerator and the denominator are whole numbers. By the way, I did have this as reoccurring, and it told me that I need to change it to recurring. Okay, so both the numerator and the denominator are whole numbers in which the denominator is not equal to 0. Okay, so as long as the denominator is not equal to 0 and it can be written as a fraction, it's a rational number. And I included this Venn diagram. This is also going to be located in my resources, and it will be located on today's Google lesson in Google Classroom. This will be a little cheat sheet for you to help. Integers also can have positive numbers. I don't know why it just has negative right here. And there's no natural numbers in here, but like I said, natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand and I'll help you.